Ons gesels vanoggend oor die onwettige handel en ook die uitsterwe van Ietermagos wat ons almal baie na in die harte lê. En ons het twee gaste vanoggend hier in die ateljee, naamlik Professor Raymond Jansen. En hy is dan nou stigter en voorsitter van die African Pangolin Working Group. En dan het ons ook vir Fanie Masango, en hy is 'n gespesialiseerde biodiversiteitsbeampte van Gauteng Natuurbewaring en ook the Green Scorpions. So good morning and welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Morning.
Good morning, thanks for having us.
Ek wil sommer net byvoorbeeld vir die kykers en die luisteraars dan nou sê dat ons vanoggend se onderhoud in Engels gaan voer, sodat albei kan deelneem aan hierdie gesprek. So let's just start with the scope and the level of this crisis at the moment.
Yeah, it's a global crisis. It's titanic. The Ietermago of the pangolins are the most trafficked mammals in the world by far. Much more than rhino, elephant, lion, paddlemoon combined. So it's huge. And the 4 Asian pangolin species are pretty much wiped out, and they're coming for the African pangolins. So we're looking at, as of yesterday, over 70 tons of pangolin scales have been exported out of the African continent this year alone. That's around about 120,000 animals.
70 ton?
70 ton. So 1 ton is omtrent so 1,700 Ietermagos. So it's really a huge problem.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Before we get to the laws and all of those things that we need to consider, if you take a look at some of the main reasons, why is this happening?
It's a cultural issue, just like it is for rhino horn, lion bone. Pangolin scales are ground into powder and used for traditional Asian medicine. And on the levels that they use it, the trade can't keep up. So it's insane.
Compliance and enforcement, what do we need to know?
Look, compliance and enforcement, what I can say is that our laws, specifically the main law that protects the pangolin, it's airtight and watertight. It's just the application that is a problem, you know. We've always had a discussion with the Prof to say that we need to actually roll out some sort of a campaign to train the prosecutors and then the magistrates. So, like I said, it's 10 years, it's clean and clear. There's no gray area. If you're found in possession of a pangolin, it's a maximum of 10 years imprisonment or a fine of up to 10 million, or both such a fine and imprisonment. So it's clear in that regard, but we still get ridiculous sentences like 6 months and suspended. You know, so it's a matter of application. But basically, our act is clean and watertight and airtight. You know.
Which country is facing the biggest challenge at the moment?
Mostly Central Africa and West Africa. Their pangolins are completely, being sieged. It's huge. But South Africa, it's big. I mean, as of last week, we had 29 cases in this country. Last year, 43 cases. Fanie and I are monthly, if not weekly, involved in retrieval operations. Last week was the carousel near Hammanskraal, arrested 5 guys and 2 pangolins. 10 pangolins in the hospital right now. And they don't eat in captivity, so you have to walk these things. It's huge and it's intense. But the whole of Africa's pangolins, south of the Sahara, is at siege.
So we know by now that, like you've mentioned, the most hunted animal in the world at this stage. But let's just quickly go back to the purpose of why they actually kill the animals and hunt them. So we know that it's for medicine purposes, but is it basically in the same category as rhino horn for the same purpose, or something totally different? So that one just tries to understand why they do what they do.
Sure. In China, in particular, there's 60 different remedies, commercial remedies for all sorts of stuff. So it's not exactly the same as an aphrodisiac for rhino horn.
Is it?
It's used to treat all sorts of spiritual and medical ailments, but it's a placebo effect. You know, you give someone a Smartie and you say that's going to cure your headache, and you really believe it. It probably will.
Mind over matter.
Mind over matter. The scales are made up of keratin, just like rhino horn. But it's all in the head. You know, it has absolutely no medicinal value.
Sorry, I'm so. This is really making me so angry. What can be done? Can't we maybe give them a placebo, fake freaking Ietermago, and tell them this is fake, and I will grow nails and give them, and they won't even know?
Grow nails.
Yeah, because
It's a good alternative.
I mean, I will give all my
Wel,
nails.
die mense gaan sy nie naels inslaan nie. Ek meen is daarom beter as dit.
Ek wil op hierdie stadium
Sure.
werk. No, but what can be done in a practical...
It's very, very difficult.
Viable.
You know, to chop the head off the snake, you've got to take away a belief system that's thousands of years old. The best thing we can do is to spread the word. Social media is hugely powerful. It's a fantastic tool. It's a wonderful weapon. Get the word out there globally, but educate the youth that these it doesn't work. And the youth in Asia are actually climbing on the bandwagon. They are saying we've had enough of this nonsense, and we are seeing it. But we don't have 2 decades to save the pangolin. But by 2040, hulle gaan almal uitgesterf wees. So it's a huge problem.
So there's a problem with awareness at the moment.
Yeah. So, I mean, if the folks listening and folks watching can just spread on social media and support us, you know, and our government officials have got so few resources and they just actually give everything they have. You know, if we have a sting operation, I give these guys an hour heads up, they're there. It's insane. The stock theft units and the EMIs in this country are absolutely wonderful. And we see so much negativity about this government doing that and there's corruption or whatever. These guys are fantastic. And what they've pulled off in the last couple of years is really, really impressive.
Fanie, please tell us about your day-to-day duties.
Oh, okay. I do compliance and enforcement. You see, if there's any transgression with regards to our acts, for instance, carrying out, I will make an example, a restricted activity as listed in the National Environmental Management Biodiversity Act. That's basically what I do. It's law enforcement. I do court cases, attend court cases for aggravating, just to ensure that we get sentences that we actually worked hard towards. And then we also rescue, there's people that are keeping animals like your crocodiles in their backyards. So we also rescue such animals and also ensure that we arrest where we need to arrest. You know?
It's good to hear that you are doing that kind of work.
But when there are only 6 green scorpions in the whole of Gauteng,
For the entire Gauteng.
are you supposed to...
We're just thinly stretched. Sometimes we just can't make it to all these operations. You know, it's hectic.
So understaffed as well.
Yeah,
That's
extremely
also an issue. That's an issue that actually needs
No
to be
weapons,
addressed.
no blue lights.
That's the thing.
Yeah, it's hectic.
We'll get to those challenges a little bit later. We've got a couple of more questions. Ons gaan voort met vanoggend se gesprek met professor Raymond Jansen, 'n stigter en voorsitter van die African Pangolin Working Group, en dan ook Fanie Masango, 'n gespesialiseerde biodiversiteitsbeampte by Gauteng Natuurbewaring in the Green Scorpions. So, welcome again and thank you for joining us. I would like to refer to the sting operations. Just tell us what exactly does that entail.
Wil nie eintlik sê nie want my ma kyk.
Gaan sy geskok wees?
No. We normally get information from the public, which comes into the South African Police Service, mostly the stock theft units and the endangered species unit. And then we negotiate with the trader, or the poacher, if you want to call them that. We don't offer a price. We normally say, is the animal healthy? We want to see it's healthy. We contact Fanie from the Green Scorpions and then the police service, and we arrange to meet the seller. And then once we confirm the animal is alive, or even if it's just got the animal, we give the signal and the law enforcement come in. And it happens pretty quickly, and it's quite a rush, actually.
Yes. Would you like to add something?
Yeah. No, look, like he's mentioned, it's one of those intense operations that need proper coordination. You cannot go wrong, because I can make an example that we almost blew the operation actually. The last sting operation that we had, I was parked right next to Prof. So because I'm driving my own personal car, unbranded, unmarked. However, one of the poachers managed to see the box of a pangolin in my car, similar to his. So they asked him, and I could hear them, they asked him, why is this box similar to yours? Do you know this guy? He was like, no, I don't know this guy at all. So you see, such little mistakes can blow the whole thing.
Operation.
Yeah, the whole operation, yeah.
Because I was waiting with 3 of these traders for about 40 minutes, and then Fanie was about 30 meters away, at a Shell garage, and my boxes in my car and his box, because the pangolins, there were 2 pangolins, so we needed 2 boxes, and they specialized boxes. He said, yeah, why have you got the same box? Quickly, what's up? Hey, get out. And then about 40 minutes later, the guys came with a pangolin. A separate vehicle, and 2 animals.
We've got so much respect for you and the work that you do. If I would like to refer to the fact that, there's a lot of challenges, and we've referred to some of the solutions very briefly earlier. But is there a way to overcome this challenge, or do you think it's way too out of hand?
Look, I speak about challenges in a broader spectrums that.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, when it comes to the pangolin, I think I always mention this because I feel strongly about it. You see, I'll start with the pangolin itself. To save this species, it is possible. However, we need to sit down and strategize thoroughly so, and we also need to start working together. For instance, the relationship that we have, me, Prof, Ray, and the other units, your stock depth that he mentioned, it's not it's not a something that was written down on paper that you guys need to work together. It's personal relationships that we've built along the way. So with that being said, there's just so much lack of cooperation. Everyone, all the law enforcement agencies are working in silos. We've that law enforcement agency has got info, that one has got info, that one has got info. If we can bring that information together, the intelligence, it would be easy for us to actually counter this poaching. So like I said, if the very same formula that we're using, us and Prof here in Gauteng, in our small little regions, can be broadened to international borders. Remember, there's this thing of they say that there's jurisdiction this, you can't go through Mozambique, you can't go through Zimbabwe. Criminals don't have those borders. It's organized. I can assure you right now, the pangolin issue has become an organized crime. So organized crimes like criminals, the lords and all that, they don't have borders. We have borders. We've got all the agencies that have got all the necessary equipment or tools that can assist us. For instance, your intelligence, we've got military, we've got...
they just need to incorporate it.
Incorporate everything. So that's where policies and proper documents come in. We can have strong SOPs and MOUs that actually forces us as law enforcement agencies across the world, forces us to work together. Remember, it's organized crime, and there's people, the kingpins are abroad, like in your Asia. So now we've got Interpol, agencies like Interpol. If we can work with the little information that we gather here on the ground, we can easily get those guys abroad. Because right now we're only catching the lower hanging fruits, and they replace them tomorrow.
We've got a couple of seconds left, but is there anything else that South African citizens can do to cooperate or make a difference, except for spreading awareness?
Sure, spreading awareness. Social media is probably the finest weapon we have at the moment, and getting eyes on the ground. But if any member of public is approached by someone who wants to sell them a pangolin, nearest police station, we network right throughout South Africa. As Fanie says, we've for these animals, we've got a very slick oiled military machine, if I can call it that, with all the departments working together, National Prosecuting Authority, GDOT, Environmental Affairs, South African Police Service. It's really, really working well. So just be on the lookout. Look for social media posts about pangolins. They are out there, and get hold of us. That's about the best.
Sê dalk net hulle Facebookblad is African Pangolin Working Group, en julle is your
Gauteng Department of Agriculture and Rural Development.
Okay, Gauteng Department of Agriculture. So gaan soontoe, like dit, deel die poste daaroor, net soos met renosterhorings, jy weet dat ons hierdie stryd kan help veg op sosiale media. Dit is wat ons kan doen.
Dankie. Waardeer dit.
Asseblief, help ons. Ja, en dankie dat julle kom kuier het. Ons waardeer dit. Ek dink dit was ons is nou baie meer ingelig. So dit was 'n insiggewende gesprek geweest. Professor Raymond Jansen en Fanie Masango.
Welkom by die Groot Ontbyt se YouTube kanaal. As jy dit nog nie gedoen het nie, maak seker jy teken aan deur op die rooi subscribe knoppie te druk. En as jy gehou het van wat jy nou net gesien het en jy soek meer sulke tipe video's, wel gaan klik net op die playlist knoppie. Maar maak seker jy besoek die kanaal op 'n daaglikse basis, want ons hou jou op hoogte van sake, al kon jy dit dalk nie noodwendig regstreeks gekyk het nie. So, daar het jy dit, heel eenvoudig.